In 1572, the evil witch Malkin is imprisoned on a high mountain by Gregory, a spook whose duty is to protect the world from dark creatures like witches. Many years later, a full blood moon appears, restoring Malkin's powers. She transforms into a flying monster, breaks free from Roussel, and escapes. Meanwhile, Gregory is drinking at a tavern when his apprentice, William, arrives to inform him about an infected girl at the church. Gregory brushes it off, claiming he's taking a break. A man at the tavern confronts him for neglecting his duty, and when he touches Gregory's shoulder, Gregory retaliates by starting a fight. He even hands the man a sword to make the brawl more exciting, eventually defeating him with his mug and pouring alcohol on him. After the fight, Gregory and William head to the church. Armed and prepared, they enter to find a possessed girl chained to a column. The girl, speaking in a demonic voice, hurls a cross at them, but Gregory catches it effortlessly. The girl's father confirms she's been possessed since the previous night. Realizing Malkin is the one possessing her, Gregory places a bag of magic powder around the girl's neck, causing her to collapse. Dark energy erupts from her body, and she returns to her normal self. The parents take her away, but the dark energy coalesces into Malkin, who taunts Gregory and attempts to charm William, though she fails. Gregory signals William, who throws an axe at a rope in the ceiling, causing a bell to fall. Malkin dodges it, transforms into a beast, and slashes Gregory's chest before attempting to flee. William shoots her with an arrow and throws a silver net at her, but Malkin drags him through the door, slamming his face against the wall. William holds onto the net long enough for Gregory to help, and together they weaken Malkin with the silver net until she reverts to human form and collapses. They trap her in a cage, but as Gregory closes it, Malkin grabs William, pulls him inside, and kills him by filling him with darkness. Enraged, Gregory sets the cage on fire, but Malkin transforms again, breaks free, and escapes. Nearby, in a forest, Tom is attempting to hunt, but his sister scares the animals away, reminding him of their farming chores. Tom, unsatisfied with his life of feeding pigs, continues hunting despite his lack of skill. Suddenly, he experiences a series of visions showing Gregory and a mysterious woman. Tom's mother comforts him, as these visions are not uncommon. Moments later, Gregory arrives at the farm. Tom's mother hides her necklace as Gregory explains he's searching for the seventh son of a seventh son. He demands food and offers money to take Tom with him. Though Tom's mother is hesitant, Tom agrees, recognizing Gregory from his visions. Before leaving, Tom's mother gives him her necklace, instructing him to wear it at all times. Meanwhile, Malkin returns to her lair to find her sister, Lizzie, badly burnt. Malkin heals her and uses her magic to restore their hideout. After a long journey by boat, Gregory and Tom arrive in the city. Gregory gives Tom money to buy supplies while he heads to the tavern. As Tom explores, he discovers the locals have captured a woman named Alice, accusing her of being a witch and preparing to burn her. Tom recognizes Alice from his visions and intervenes, claiming to be Gregory's apprentice and offering to deal with the witch himself. The crowd reluctantly agrees, and Tom takes Alice away, saving her from certain death. Once they reach a secluded spot, Tom cuts Alice's ropes, and she warns him that Gregory's apprentices always end up dead. Before leaving, she asks Tom not to tell Gregory about her. That evening, Alice returns to the evil lair, revealing herself as Lizzie's daughter. Malkin is pleased to hear that Alice has been spying on Gregory and announces that they must summon all the dark creatures in the land to prepare for the full blood moon. Meanwhile, Tom and Gregory continue their journey through the woods. Tom is frequently startled by eerie ghosts, and Gregory explains that spooks only kill aggressive monsters. He stresses the urgency of stopping Malkin before the full blood moon, a rare event that occurs once every century and grants witches immense power. The last time it happened, it sparked a devastating war. Tom suddenly trembles and has a vision of Malkin escaping her cage. He passes out and doesn't wake up until the next morning, finding himself on a boat with Gregory and a troll named Tusk. They eventually reach land and visit Gregory's home, a place filled with weapons, books, and advanced contraptions. Tom discovers a tapestry depicting the Falcons, an order of noble knights who once fought the forces of darkness and trained all the seventh sons of seventh sons. Gregory explains that while there were once thousands of Falcons, he is now the last one. An apprenticeship typically lasts 10 years, but Gregory says they only have a week to train Tom before the full blood moon arrives. That night, Tom is awakened by Gregory's voice calling for help. He investigates and finds a suit of armor with a skeleton inside. As he turns to leave, the armor suddenly glows and comes to life, chasing him. Tom flees as the armor destroys everything in its path, throwing a spear that Tom narrowly dodges. He climbs onto a platform using contraptions, but the armor follows, attacking with its sword. Tom manages to evade the blows until the armor throws him off the platform and leaps after him. Just as the armor is about to kill Tom, Gregory intervenes, disarming and destroying the darkness within it. Gregory scolds Tom for leaving his room, declaring that he has already failed his first test. He then throws a staff at Tom and attacks him with a sword, taunting him with harsh comments about his family. Tom struggles to defend himself, and Gregory quickly corners him, holding his sword to his neck and declaring him worthless. Frustrated, Tom throws a sword that lands inches from Gregory's head, earning his respect and convincing him to continue the training. Gregory teaches Tom about Malkin's demonic minions and her powerful lieutenants. Tom learns knife throwing, the properties of metals and herbs that harm dark creatures, how to identify different monsters, and how to protect himself from spells. Meanwhile, at the evil lair, Malkin's lieutenants arrive with an army of demonic minions. When one minion looks at Malkin disrespectfully, she kills it without hesitation. This alarms Alice, who realizes Malkin doesn't care about her own followers. She tries to warn her mother, Lizzie, but Lizzie assures her that Malkin won't harm her family. That night, Tom is again awakened by a noise and finds Alice bathing in a lake. She asks him to turn around while she uses magic to dress herself, hoping to keep her secret. However, when Tom grabs her hand, a bright spark appears, and Alice is forced to confess that she is a witch. She explains that if a witch touches a man under moonlight and a spark occurs, it means he is her true love. Alice insists that not all witches are evil, as Gregory claims, and admits she has been spying on him. Just as they are about to kiss, they are interrupted by Tusk's loud snoring. When Tom turns to check on the noise, Alice vanishes into the night. The next morning, the group hears the city bells ringing, signaling that the spooks are being summoned. At that moment, a group of knights arrives to escort them to the city, a journey that will take 2 days. Upon arrival, a priest informs them about a terrifying monster that no one dares to approach. The beast, locked in a cage, resembles a bear, but Gregory immediately recognizes it as Urog, Malkin's most bloodthirsty lieutenant. Gregory sends all the soldiers away and secures the doors before announcing he'll fight the beast alone. Urog breaks free from the cage and attacks Gregory, who throws silver powder at him, forcing him back into his human form. A fierce hand-to-hand battle ensues, with both men displaying remarkable skill. When Urog corners Gregory against a gate, Tom throws an object at Urog's head, causing him to release Gregory. Urog then turns his rage on Tom, beating him until Gregory intervenes, resuming their fight. This time, Gregory gains the upper hand, but Urog climbs the walls to escape. Gregory instructs Tom to act as bait by jumping onto a cage. When Tom leaps off, Gregory cuts the rope, causing the cage to fall and crush Urog. Gregory tries to choke Urog with a chain, but Urog transforms back into a bear. Tom throws more silver powder, reversing the transformation, and together they push Urog back into the cage and chain him up. The knights pour oil into the room, and Gregory asks Tom to light the fire to kill Urog. However, Tom hesitates, unable to kill a person, so Gregory takes the torch and sets the cage ablaze, ending Urog's life. After Urog burns to death, Gregory berates Tom, telling him he's useless if he can't kill witches, and the two part ways. Unbeknownst to them, Alice has been watching. She approaches Tom in private, revealing that she's been researching the spark between them. She explains that sometimes it signifies a shared destiny, but other times it's just dust. Alice also reveals that Gregory once loved a witch. Suddenly, Tom kisses her, and the two spend the night together. Tom suggests they run away to a safe place, but Alice insists no such place exists. This triggers a vision in Tom, showing the world consumed by darkness and Malkin killing Gregory. Worried, Tom decides to return to Gregory and kisses Alice goodbye. Meanwhile, Malkin receives the rest of her lieutenants, who inform her of Urog's death. Enraged, Malkin orders Lizzie to bring her Gregory. Lizzie transforms into a bird and flies off to carry out the task. The next day, Tom finds Gregory, who admits he once loved Malkin. He explains that she wasn't always evil but was changed by fear and hatred. When Malkin discovered Gregory had married someone else, she killed his wife out of jealousy. Gregory captured Malkin but couldn't bring himself to kill her, instead locking her away. He regrets showing her mercy, as it allowed her to return and terrorize the world. Gregory shows Tom his wife's grave and explains that he's hard on Tom because he doesn't want him to make the same mistakes. The two continue their journey together, but their progress is halted when Tusk appears with a warning. Suddenly, the ground begins to tremble and crack, causing the horses to flee in terror. A monstrous boggart bursts from the earth, attacking the group. Gregory warns that boggarts cannot be fought and orders everyone to run. The boggart hurls the carriage at them, sending them tumbling down a hill. Tusk roars at the boggart, momentarily freezing it, but the creature slaps the troll away, leaving the group to face the monstrous threat alone. Gregory and Tom escape through a tunnel in the mountain but find themselves trapped on the edge of a cliff. The boggart reaches through the tunnel, forcing them to jump into the river below. A fisherman on a raft helps them out, but the boggart leaps into the water, capsizing the raft. The beast grabs Tom, who stabs its hand with a knife, forcing it to release him. Tom climbs onto the creature's back and stabs it again, causing it to thrash in pain. The boggart, unable to swim, is swept away by the current, and both it and Tom plummet over a waterfall. The boggart crashes into a rock and dies, while Tom survives the fall and swims to shore. There, he is confronted by Lizzie, who warns him to stay away from Alice and threatens him with a sword. Tom grabs the blade, and his necklace activates, shooting a burst of magic that disarms Lizzie. Recognizing the stone, Lizzie realizes it belongs to Malkin and transforms into a bird to warn her. Minutes later, Tom reunites with Gregory, who identifies the necklace as the Umbran Stone, the witch's most sacred talisman. The stone amplifies their powers and makes their illusions more potent. Gregory deduces that Tom's mother must have been the witch who stole the stone from Malkin, explaining Tom's visions and connection to the witches. Meanwhile, at Malkin's lair, she tries to convince Alice that Tom is as cruel as Gregory. Alice defends Tom, so Malkin offers her a deal. If Alice retrieves the stone from Tom, she will spare his life. Malkin then uses her magic to empower her lieutenants and sends them to attack the city. The lieutenants unleash chaos, transforming into monstrous forms and slaughtering the townspeople. Tom's mother, wielding a stolen staff, kills one of the lieutenants but is captured by Malkin, who burns her to death. In the mountains, Alice approaches Tom while he is alone. After sharing a kiss, she asks him to run away with her, and Tom confesses his love. Their moment is interrupted by Gregory, who captures Alice with Bolas, accusing her of being a spy. Tom refuses to believe him and cuts the ropes to free her. Enraged, Gregory reveals that the Umbran Stone is missing, proving Alice stole it during their kiss. Heartbroken, Tom runs into the woods to find Alice but is ambushed by Lieutenant Radu and his minions. Despite Tom's efforts, he is overwhelmed until Gregory and Tusk join the fight. They manage to fend off the minions, but as they attempt to flee, they are cornered by a cliff. The minions push Tusk over the edge and capture Tom with a rope. Gregory tries to save Tom with his staff, but Tom slips and falls. Radu captures Gregory and delivers him to Malkin, claiming Tom died in the fall. At the lair, Malkin attempts to hypnotize Gregory using the Umbran Stone, but Alice intervenes, stealing the necklace and fleeing. She dodges the guards and escapes, breaking the spell on Gregory. Meanwhile, Tom survives the fall and has a vision of his mother's death. Her ghost appears, urging him to find courage and use the stone to stop Malkin. Determined, Tom retrieves Gregory's staff and rescues Tusk, who is still hanging from the cliff. That night, Radu delivers Gregory to Malkin, who tries to force him to join her side. However, Alice's theft of the stone disrupts Malkin's plans, leaving Gregory free and setting the stage for a final confrontation. Malkin, enraged, grabs Gregory with her tail and hurls him against a building before transforming into a beast to chase after Alice. Lizzie, desperate to protect her daughter, transforms as well and follows them. As Malkin closes in on Alice, Lizzie grabs her wing, causing both witches to crash into some columns. One of the columns begins to fall, forcing Alice to roll out of the way, but she accidentally leaves the Umbran Stone buried under the debris. Lizzie falls when Malkin breathes fire, but the two witches continue their brutal fight. Meanwhile, Radu transforms into a massive beast, roaring in Gregory's face, while Alice tries to hide. Tom finds her and, in a moment of anger, threatens her with a knife, demanding the stone. Alice explains she lost it and only stole it to protect him. Their argument is interrupted by a minion, whom Tom kills with a thrown knife, but the commotion alerts more enemies. Tusk leaps into the fray, blocking the minions and allowing Tom and Alice to fight alongside him. Tom wields Gregory's staff with newfound skill, while Tusk relies on his immense strength. Alice, too, defends herself bravely. Malkin attempts to attack Alice during the chaos, but Lizzie tackles her mid-air, forcing her to the ground. Tusk continues to battle the minions, while Tom faces off against a swift lieutenant who slashes at him with a knife. When she pauses to transform into a wildcat, Tom seizes the opportunity to retrieve the Umbran Stone. He puts it on, activating the staff's power, and incinerates the lieutenant in seconds. Alice, still on the run, encounters another lieutenant who overpowers her. Just as he is about to kill her, Tom intervenes, using the staff to burn the lieutenant to death. Meanwhile, Radu, in his beast form, captures Gregory. Gregory taunts him, accusing him of having no honor for not fighting as a man. Radu transforms back into his human form and hands Gregory a blade, agreeing to a fair fight. The two clash, their skills evenly matched, but Gregory suffers a severe slash to his stomach and is forced to retreat. Radu brings down a column to flush Gregory out, but the spook retaliates with a chain blade, finally defeating and killing Radu. In the sky, Malkin and Lizzie's battle reaches its climax. Malkin bites Lizzie's neck and stabs her with her tail, but Lizzie retaliates by stabbing Malkin in return. Both witches cry out in pain as they plummet to the ground, reverting to their human forms. Lizzie pleads for Alice's life, but Malkin brands her a traitor and kills her. Malkin then retreats to her lair, and Gregory tells Tom he must face her alone. Tom enters the lair and prepares to stab Malkin, but she feigns weakness and grabs him by the neck. Before she can kill him, Tom throws a knife, striking her down. As Malkin whispers something about a curse, Tom sets her body ablaze, ensuring her end. Sometime later, Gregory uses his staff to burn a tattoo onto Tom's hand, officially marking him as a spook. Alice comes to see Tom, questioning whether the spark between them was merely dust. Tom kisses her, proving his love is real, but he explains that he has chosen the life of a spook and must leave. Gregory, now ready to retire, leaves his staff, home, and tusk in Tom's care. As the city bells ring, summoning Tom for his first job as a spook, he sets off to face his new destiny. The story ends with Tom embracing his role as a protector against the forces of darkness, ready to carry on Gregory's legacy. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you can watch more videos like this.